Today, womanhood is not just about breaking stereotypes. We're deleting them. Hello everyone, I hope everyone's doing great. You're watching Women Talk with me, Nadia Azmin. Now, how many of you have ever been told who to be, what version of yourselves that is acceptable, what to wear? Have you ever been told that you've been too loud, too quiet, too much, or even maybe too sexy? Well, breaking news, today women are not seeking for permission anymore because we are writing our own stories and our own narratives. Today in the studio to tell us their stories and journeys, we have with us Sarah Lian. She's an actress, MC, entrepreneur, and also wellness advocate. Welcome to Women Talk, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's great to have you. And also next to her, we have Christy Geraldine Ho, who is a digital creator. Great to have you here with us as well.
Thank you. Thank
yes,
you for
we want
having
to know about your narratives and your stories as a woman, you know. So I want to start off by asking, what is your definition or vision of that ideal woman? Can I start with Sarah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I get the honor. I think it's really fascinating when you talk about narrative, because when we talk about narrative, it's about whose perspective, who's writing the narrative. Has it been men that's been writing the narrative, right? And we talk about advertising, marketing. Who are the men that were behind these campaigns to make us feel less than, or that beauty has one note and one standard?
Yes.
And so I think now it's like everyone is writing everything, and I see that reflected in television when you look at celebrities and people that have been popular for different reasons, and they don't look like the typical thing that what everybody was supposed to look like maybe 10, 15 years ago, and things have really changed a lot.
So I think women these days, we're owning our own stories. Yes. What about you, Christy? How would you picture that ideal woman?
Well, all this while, an ideal woman is supposed to be, you know, professional, look immaculate, like not a hair out of place, no grey hair.
I love how you're embracing that. Yes.
Right? No grey hair, no wrinkles and all that. But now a lot of women are coming out to change that rule and change that perception and show like, look, we can be ideal, but we can also be real.
Yes.
We can also, we don't need to fit into a certain size or a certain color or a certain look to be that ideal woman. You know, we have our thoughts, we have opinions.
Yeah. So both of you have illustrated that ideal description of an ideal woman.
Yes.
Let's rewind a little bit when you both were younger, when you were just girls. What kind of woman did you want to be?
It was very interesting because for the past 20 years, I've been in entertainment. So I'm almost trying to represent other people's ideal beauty in myself.
You feel that pressure being in the industry.
100%. I remember doing a podcast talking about it, and I'm like, of course I have to be skinny. And someone was like, why? I said, actually, that's a really good question. Why do I have to look a certain way? Why do I have to be a certain way? And yeah, for most of my youth, it was, I'm not skinny enough. I'm not skinny enough. My body shape isn't as, you know, desirable as someone else's because they were more full-figured or you know, or whatever it was. And so you have these insecurities. But as you age and as you get older, half of you just don't care anymore, right? And then another half of you are like, actually, why does it matter? You have a chance for you to ask yourself. So I think for me, I've definitely gone through a path, especially in the limelight, in entertainment, really questioning myself and trying to fit in and trying to look a certain way and compete with that, when actually it should not be a competition at all.
So how were you able to not listen to the unnecessary noise and just be who you want to be?
That's a really great question, Nadia.
Yeah, especially in the entertainment industry, the pressure is it's real.
You're feeling cooked, that's for sure.
Eyes are on you.
I think for me it was, at some point, you're always going to be compared against someone that's prettier, that's younger, that's more popular, that has more Instagram followers, that has a more high-profile relationship. And, you know, you're always going to be compared to. And until you get to a place where you find a little bit of peace in yourself, then you realize that actually it's my integrity, it is the way, it's my values, it's the way I walk into a room that's going to mean much more than trying to be seen in other people's light, right? So yeah.
I love that word, value. I think that's a key word over here.
Yeah.
Christy, what about you? When you were much younger, how did you envision yourself to be? And I know you have kids, right?
Yes,
You have sons
I have 3
and daughters?
kids, yeah, 1 daughter, 2 sons.
So what would you impart to them? What do you want to tell them? How have your perceptions changed throughout the time?
Okay, growing up, especially in the Asian culture, you are expected to be a certain way.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about physical looks. We're talking about you need to be smart, you need to maybe not, you need to be academically inclined. And if you tend to go the creative way, maybe you get looked down upon. So now I want to show my children that it's more important to be who you are, to follow your passions. You don't need to be straight A students.
Yeah, you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, you don't have to be perfect to be who you are.
Yes.
As long as you follow your passions, you are true to yourself.
Authentic.
Yes.
Be authentic
Yes.
and the genuine self that you
Yes.
are. Sarah, you have ventured into the wellness line, right? I mean, you started off as an actress and MC, and you started now going into something, about mental health, taking care of your bodies, of your mind. We want to know why you have steered into that direction, and maybe that has something to do with the topic that we're discussing today. But please, not yet. We want to know more about that after the break. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Women Talk. Now, earlier in the first segment, we were touching a little bit on the personal lives of our guests, asking about their perceptions and experiences growing up as a young girl and growing up to be that ideal woman that they expect themselves to be.
About 7-8 years ago, I started this little retreat business called Super Retreat. And it was just sort of a direction that I had towards from my company. And I didn't realize it at that time, but I was really going through a lot of self-reflection and discovery. I was not in a healthy place. I was not in a healthy relationship. I was questioning a lot of things. I was asking myself, why is it that I keep needing other people to tell me that I'm beautiful, that I'm great, and that I'm all this? And I relied so much on external validation that when I did not get that, I would just feel so worthless and unattractive and undesired and things like that. And I really had to question myself, all of those things. And I think when I had a chance to finally do that, and it was just a lot of crying. I think it was like crying for like 3 years, a lot of stuff coming out. I really started to understand who I was. And I realized that in all of our journeys, we're gonna, through our conditioning, through what our family says to us, whatever society says to us, whoever we want to look good in front of, they're going to tell us all these things that maybe if we're not as strong inside, we're going to try to veer and people please or try to get, maybe have an outcome that's close to what they want, right? And I think I realized that pattern in my life, and I thought, I can't keep doing this. I am a certain age and I'm like, come on, Sarah, you can't keep doing this. Something's got to change. Every time you choose the same thing, you're going to have the same outcome. So you have to choose differently. And so that's what I did. I did a deep dive and I really unearthed a lot of things. I had to make amends to situations that were no longer good for me. And as I started to clear all these things, I started realizing that I really don't need to sweat the small stuff.
I think it also carries a lot of weight when women support women. I think that is so important because in a world where there are a lot of women who also, they're so judgy and they bash each other down. I think it's so important that you have women supporting women and giving them this kind of encouragement.
Uplift each other. As you're saying this, I think a lot of people at home can relate. They're going through the same thing. Maybe their stories are different, but the struggles and the challenges may be similar. The feelings and emotions that you have to navigate through are pretty similar. So it's good when you're able to support each other that way. Christy, you are a digital creator. What kind of digital content do you produce?
Well, it's not for women in particular. It's just more of advocating embracing your natural self. Like, for example, my main message is to embrace your grace, which is what I'm trying to tell people. Like, society tells you that, you know, you're too young to embrace your grace, or it will make you look washed out, or it'll make you look old, or it'll age you. So I'm trying to tell people that no, it's not. It's not going to do that.
I can't believe there are people saying those kind of things.
So I'm trying to show people that no, you can embrace your grace and still be who you are and not look washed out or not look old.
I think that's really unfair to say, especially to women. I don't hear men being
just because of your grace. I mean, it's just genetics, right? It's just genetics, and I think all of us are realizing that our health span and our lifespan is a lot more, a lot longer than it used to be. So if you want to start a new career at 50, start a new career at 50. You've got another 30 years to go. Like, what are we really fighting about,
and
right?
Really, age is just a number. Like, can I add? Can I share that? Since I started this Growing Grey journey, I've met this community of Silver Sisters.
Yes.
Silver Sisters!
I love that name. Yes,
Like what I mentioned earlier, women supporting women.
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of these women out there that I've met who found themselves at 60 years old. You know, one of them is now, at 60, she's now walking, doing catwalks for fashion shows.
I love that.
And she's just gotten into this career just recently.
So she was able to gain that confidence by being uplifted by other women.
Yes.
You feel
like
empowered.
her, right?
You feel like you're not doing this journey alone, that someone else understands your struggle and they're just there for you.
And they give you the confidence to, you know, to do it.
To do what you've always wanted to do, but you were afraid of what society might look at you as. Visually, I think it's very important for women to feel beautiful on the outside and the inside. I think it's just natural that women want to look.
Confidence.
Yes,
right?
It will correlate with the confidence that you internalize, right? So I think that's great that you're doing that, getting them together and saying, hey, just look the way that you are. That is your image, that is your identity, and embrace it.
That's right.
Embrace
it.
Yes. What kind of activities do you do with your sisterhood, Silver Sisters?
We're not talking about just in Malaysia. We're talking about worldwide.
Awesome.
Like worldwide. Like the Silver Sister I was just telling you about, she's based in San Francisco. Yeah, and then there's another one who recently, she's also 60-something, and she's recently got her certificate to be a physical trainer. At 60-something. Like who would have thought that you can actually do that at this age, right? So besides that, I mean, we're all basically connected online. So we just uplift each other online. We do reels. And then the ones that I've met in Malaysia, we go out for lunch, breakfast, we get together, and then when we're together, you have people coming up to us and go like, hey, I like your hair. Like, how did you do it? When did you start? I want to grow mine too, but I don't know where to start, and I scared people will think negatively of me. So that's how we, you know, we share and give them the confidence to start.
And I was going to say too, is that, you know, when you show yourself, you don't realize how other people can use you as the guide. You know,
for them to be inspired. So that's the beautiful thing about sisterhood.
We see that it's possible.
Yes,
right. We see that we're like, oh, she can grow her hair like that, and she looks amazing. I could do that too. Why did I hold myself back? You know,
it's inspirational and also a universal thing, that sisterhood bond that we want to create. So we have to go for another quick break. I know you have a lot more to say. Let's hear more of your journeys and stories and thoughts as well on the topic of being the ideal woman. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Women Talk, talking about being that ideal woman. Now, in this day and age, sometimes you can't help it, but our stories sometimes get filtered, be it by culture, media, family, sometimes even by our own selves. So what really matters is that we have to learn how to stop doing that, stop editing our lives, and just be who we are. Let the stories be out there themselves. I want to talk about a little bit on navigating vulnerability. I've been told by some people, they have this opinion that For example, if you're a divorced woman, don't talk about your divorce, being divorced, your journey, your struggles, the challenges, the tears that you have cried, because that shows your vulnerability.
I think when people chime in, it's a projection of how they feel about something. It doesn't necessarily mean it's yours. And I think when we talk about vulnerability, it just means sharing a moment where you know you can be judged.
Which is what a lot of us are afraid of.
Yeah, that's what a lot of us are afraid of,
Yeah.
because there's a sense of insecurity, right? When you feel judged, oh, what are they going to say about me? Am I going to have a loss of like money, opportunities because of those things? And so that puts you in a very vulnerable place. I would never tell someone what they should or should not do, because I believe that every person is whole, competent, and capable. But you have to ask yourself what kind of advice you are receiving. You know, you can choose to receive it, or you can choose to, you know, just kind of like, no, thank you.
For yourself, how comfortable would you be opening up about your life? I mean, just now you were telling us about going through a bad relationship, about rediscovering yourself. You were crying for 3 years.
It feels like 3 years.
How much of that have you actually
I've shared a lot of it.
disclosed?
Oh, I've shared a lot of it online.
You feel comfortable doing that?
I do, because I'm writing about myself and not to write to harm someone else. It's been my journey of reflection and understanding what happened. Actually, why did I think this was okay? And why did I feel this way?
Yeah.
And so as I've been sharing these things, a lot of people have been sending me these private messages and are like, oh my goodness, I was in the exact same situation as you.
Yes.
And I would just be like, get out.
Sometimes you don't realize. A lot of people, when they hear your stories, it helps them.
And it resonates with them.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is not about sharing everything that is raw and real in your life. It's about choosing what to share, what you feel that people can relate to. It's about, but still sharing, still showing your vulnerability, but also, how do you say? It's like also like making sure that you stay true to yourself. It is to share because you want people to relate. You might want people to know that, okay, they're not alone out there. But it's not for pities, it's not for likes. That's most importantly, you know. So that's where the empowerment comes in. Like you are in control of your vulnerability, and it's okay to be vulnerable because we are human.
It comes from the intention as well.
Yes.
Just like when you produce content or when you're out there working in your line, entertainment industry, it's the intention. You want to put something out there, you want to convey something, you want to portray something. What is the objectives behind it?
You know, someone came up to me recently and they said, oh, you know, before I met you, I heard so many things about you, and then I hang out with you. Okay, what? Not bad, what? You know, like
what I said to you.
They're like, oh, I'm so surprised, and you know, I just let them. Like, I'm not here to change anybody's opinion about who I am.
I think it takes time to be able to let it go, to shrug it off,
Yeah.
not to take it to the heart.
It comes from a place where I've really worked on myself for many years, and I'm full of self-love. I really love myself. So I don't need someone else to tell me how I feel for me to feel that sense of love. So because I've given myself this love and I feel abundant and I feel full, anyone that's saying anything to me, it just like slips away.
It's only natural. I mean, everybody wants to be liked,
Yes.
right? I mean, who doesn't want to be liked, right?
Yes.
But make sure that you want to be liked for who you are deep inside, and don't just be someone that you think people will like, and then you're not true to yourself.
Because
Right?
there's a lot of people pleasing that happens,
Yes.
and that, you know, it comes at a detriment of you. You abandon yourself in order to be liked, and there's a lot of abandonment wounds.
Yeah, and then that's when you start to forget who you are.
You forget who you are, and you become a shell because you're like, this is what is supposed to happen. And then, you know, 20 years later, you're like, why am I so unhappy? I've gotten every single thing I've ever wanted in my life, but I am a shell of a person.
Yeah. So first and foremost, put yourself in that space or that state of mind where you are loving yourself. You genuinely like yourself as well. So take care of yourself, be in the right headspace, as you've mentioned, and then I think things will just progress as it should be. Now, we've come to the end of the show, unfortunately, so I want both of you to tell women out there who are watching who maybe have lost control of the story, or they have no idea which direction they should be heading into. Where should they start? What should they do? Christy, let's start with you.
I think it's very important to do it for yourself, not for anyone else. Like if you want to start something, make sure you do it for yourself. Like for me, I've been wanting to grow out my grace for a very long time, but I never had the courage to do that because I was so afraid of what people would say and tell me. So I've just continued coloring it. But then after that, I realized, look, I'm so sick and tired of scheduling my appointments around my touch-up. You know, it's like, it's like all my social events I had to schedule around my touch-up, and I got so, you just get so sick and tired of that. And I decided, no, I'm just gonna do with it. I'm just gonna grow it out because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, you look great. By the way.
Thank you.
So yes, you received compliments from our makeup artist because we just love the image that you are portraying. I think it's an inspiration to all women and girls out there. Just grow out your grace, be who you are. You look fabulous.
Yeah.
And Sarah, what about you?
What would I say for any women that are feeling lost or trying to figure themselves out? Really take some time, write how you're feeling and tap into what's inside and not really what other people want you to do. I think when you cultivate that relationship with yourself, you will start to realize what standards you have, and it'll start to give you a lot more clarity as to who deserves to be in your life and who doesn't. And I think once you start to get that clarity or start looking after yourself, things are going to start becoming a lot more clear.
We talk sometimes about rebranding womanhood, but maybe it's not about rebranding. It's actually about returning to your true self, to your voice, to what's real. So let's do that from now on. We'll try together, we can. So please do own your story unapologetically and you'll be fine. So don't forget to follow us on Women Talk for updates on our social media at Women Talk TV3 and also TV3 Malaysia. Thank you for being here with us for this terrific and brilliant conversation. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.